In this video, we're going to show you the perfect itinerary for Cappadocia. One of the questions we get asked most is how to build a travel plan for the land of fairy chimneys. To see the bare essentials and have a backup day for the balloon, we recommend at least 4 days. That's why we've prepared a super complete 4-day itinerary with the best of Cappadocia, detailed day by day. So let's get started. When is the best time to visit Cappadocia? The best time by far is spring and fall, from April to May and from September to October. The weather is mild and comfortable. The chance of a balloon flight is highest then. We strongly recommend avoiding the months of July and August, as the heat is intense and oppressive. And how many days to stay in Cappadocia? The ideal is to stay 3 to 4 days. This gives you time for a buffer day in case the balloon flight is canceled and to do the 2 main van tours. Mandatory documentation. To enter Turkey, you need 2 things. First, a valid passport with at least 6 months of validity. Many nationalities do not need a visa if the trip is up to 90 days, but you must obtain the e-visa or electronic visa on the official website before traveling. The e-visa for many nationalities costs about $60. And about travel insurance. For Turkey, travel insurance is not mandatory, but it is highly recommended. Medical costs here are charged in euros or US dollars, and a simple emergency can cost tens of thousands of dollars. We never travel without it. And in the link in the description, there's the comparator we use that always finds the insurance at half the price. We'll leave the link in the description. Now let's talk about transportation. How to get around in Cappadocia. To get to Cappadocia, you should fly to Kayseri or Nevşehir airports. The logistic within Cappadocia is done by rental car or by van tours. The price of renting a car costs about 20 euros per day. Renting a car here is essential for exploring the more distant valleys, like the Love Valley. If you prefer not to drive, the van tours are the option. The red tour costs about 40 euros per person, and the green tour, which is longer, costs about 50 euros. For those who will rent a car, the most important tip is to book in advance online using a price comparator. We'll leave the link to the comparator we use in the description. Staying in a good area will make your trip much easier. You'll be close to all these tourist spots. The strategy in Cappadocia is simple. The main choice is Göreme. The pro of this area is that it is central, has the best atmosphere, and most cave hotels and tour agencies are there. The con is that it is the busiest. Profile. Ideal for first-timers. The second option is Uçhisar. The pro is that it is the highest point, more luxurious, quieter, and has the best panoramic views. The con is that you will need a taxi to get to Göreme, which is about 5 minutes by car, or the main attractions. A third option is Ortahisar. This village is more authentic and quiet, but the dining options are limited and the trip to Göreme is longer, about 10 minutes by car. We created this custom map, which explains exactly which is the best central region to stay in. We'll leave the link to this map here, on the QR code, on the screen, and in the video description. We created it on the hotel site we always use, as it always has the best prices. There, you can put in your travel dates and see all the hotel options within that location, at the lowest prices. We'll also leave links to the hotels we've stayed at. In every destination, we always recommend one that is very cheap and super well located, and an all-inclusive resort that we love, known for having the best value for money in the region. They are great options. An important tip to save on lodging is the advanced booking strategy. The cave hotels in Cappadocia sell out months in advance. This is why we love using this website. Besides having the lowest prices, it has free cancellation for almost all hotels. You can book as early as possible to guarantee a much lower price, and if you need to cancel later, it's super easy and costs nothing. And remember that in the link below, we always organize everything you need to plan your entire trip for the best price. The sites we use to plan our trips, and that have everything much cheaper. International travel eSIM, travel insurance at half price, tickets for all the attractions we mentioned, the good and cheap hotels we've stayed at, the car rental comparator, which is essential for Cappadocia, and the global account, to carry euros paying much lower fees. And the links already contain automatic discounts as we are always updating them. So save this page to your favorites and use it when planning. It will make your trip much easier and save you a lot of money. Now, for the day-by-day itinerary. Day 1. Arrival, Cave Hotel, and Sunset Valley. Morning. You arrive at the airport. The logistic is to take the pre-booked transfer to Göreme. Check into your cave hotel. Afternoon. Your first destination is the Devran Valley, which is Imagination Valley. Drive 10 minutes by car from Göreme. This valley is famous because the fairy chimneys have been eroded into shapes that resemble animals, like a giant camel. The visit is free, and the logistic is simple. You can park your car beside the main road and walk. You should allocate about 1 hour for photos. In the late afternoon, the logistic is to drive to the Red Valley for sunset. This is the most famous view in Cappadocia, and access is free. For dinner, we recommend Fire and Express Güzelyurt in Göreme. They serve Turkish pizza cooked in a stone oven. A full dinner costs about 20 euros per person. Day 2. Balloons, Museum, and Classic Valleys. Pre-dawn starts at 4 a.m. for the hot air balloon ride. This is the day reserved for the most expensive attraction. The flight costs about 200 to 300 euros per person. Remember that you should reserve 3 days in Cappadocia, as the flight can be cancelled due to high wind. Morning. After the flight and breakfast, visit the Gorum Open Air Museum. It is about 20 minutes walking from the center. The ticket costs about 15 euros. You should allocate about 2 hours for the visit. Afternoon. Explore Passabag, or Monk's Valley, which is about 15 minutes by car from the museum. This valley is famous for the fairy chimneys with multiple hats. Entrance is free. Night. Dine at Top Deck Cave Restaurant in Gurimi. They serve traditional Anatolian food in a cave. A meal costs about 45 euros per person. Day 3. Underground Adventure and Castle View. Morning. Start the most historic attraction. The logistic is to rent a car or take the Green Tour van to the underground cities of Derinkuyu. The drive from Goreme takes about 40 minutes by car. The entrance ticket costs 10 euros. The experience is cramped and claustrophobic as you go down 8 stories under the earth. For lunch, the Green Tour usually includes lunch at a regional restaurant. Afternoon, visit the Ilara Valley, which is about 25 minutes by car from Derinkuyu. The logistic here is to hike about 3 kilometers along the river, passing ancient cave churches. In the late afternoon, drive back towards Goreme and stop at Uchisar Castle. This is the highest point. Entrance costs about 5 euros. The 360-degree panoramic view is unmissable. Day 4. Ceramics and Departure. Morning. Drive to Avanos, the pottery town. The drive from Gorima takes about 10 minutes by car. The logistic is to visit one of the ceramic workshops and try making a pot on the wheel, which is a free attraction. Spend the rest of the morning buying souvenirs. The focus is on ceramics from Avanos. For lunch, eat a delicious testi kebab at restaurant in Gorime. This dish is meat cooked in a sealed clay pot and costs about 30 euros per person. Afternoon. Drive your car or take a pre-booked transfer to Kayseri or Nevşehir Airport for your flight back to Istanbul or your next destination. An important tip that will save you time and money is to buy tickets for attractions and tours in advance. Buying on the spot is always more expensive, and the most famous tourist spots like the balloon flights sell out months in advance. We'll leave the link on the QR code on the screen and in the video description to the site where we always buy tickets and tours for the best price. It's the largest tour site in the world and has practically everything there. Skip the line tickets for the Cappadocia balloon flights, the green and red van tours, and tickets for the underground cities, all at the best price, and you can buy in any currency, saving on fees. Now let's talk about gastronomy. Typical dishes include testi kebab, manti, Turkish dumplings, pidi, Turkish pizza, and baklava, pistachio dessert. For restaurant suggestions, the Firin Express Güzelyer, cheap, Juremi, 20 euros, is famous for pidi. The Top Deck Cave Restaurant, mid-range, Gourmet, 45 euros, serves traditional food in a cave. And the Miracle Restaurant, expensive, Uchisar, 100 euros, serves high-end Turkish cuisine. Quick shopping tips. The focus is ceramics from Avanos, jewelry, and rugs. The most famous souvenir is the small colored Turkish lanterns. What about nightlife? The nightlife in Cappadocia is very quiet. The plan is to dine at a cave restaurant or watch the whirling dervish show, which is free. And if you're traveling with children, Cappadocia is great for kids. They will love the fairy chimneys and the balloons flying. The attraction is exploring Devrant Valley, which looks like a rock zoo. Another unmissable attraction is the horseback riding tour through the Red Valley, which costs about 25 euros per hour. And to combine your trip, the most classic combination is an internal flight of 1 hour and 20 minutes to Istanbul. The second is with the Turquoise Coast or Pamukkale. If you liked this detailed Cappadocia itinerary, like the video and subscribe to our channel. Leave your questions in the comments. Thank you very much and have a great trip.